All right. Good evening, everyone again. Just tell me whether in the chat, whether this is visible topics for the day, STR, data type, indexing, immutable and all that. Somebody in the chat. Okay, yes. Thank you. So the topics for the day, are we will learn STR data type. Recall that we have learned only about int and float till now. We have not explored the third data type STR. And many things are there to be learned in STR, that is string, like indexing. Then there is a word called immutable, very important word in Python. And second most important word is mutable and immutable. Then we will learn methods or also known as functions. Okay. There is a very interesting feature called slicing. You can see fifth point. And then sixth topic I will teach is for loop. Maybe we will reach that. Maybe, I don't know. Otherwise, we will learn for loop on Monday. Surprising, you might feel that we have already learned for loop. So what are we going to learn now in the for loop? See, actually, for loop has two types. We said two grammars, two syntaxes. First syntax we have learned. There is another very special syntax of the for loop, which is heavily used in Python. Very interesting it will be. And you will be using it over and over and over again, this second grammar. Okay. But not before we have explored all these topics. STR data type, what is it and all that. Okay. So let's begin. Just check. Our topic is string, that is STR. In short, it is called STR, data type in Python. What is the definition of string? String is a sequence of characters enclosed in single quote or in double quote or in triple quote. Just check. Suppose I write a statement in Python like this. X is equal to 10. And I ask you, what is X? You will say it's a variable, very importantly. You will first say it's a variable. Then I'll ask you, what is data type of X? You will say it is int. I'll ask why? Because you will say X is storing 10 and 10 is integer value. Correct. Now imagine I write a line like this. Y is equal to single quote, Samir. Single quote close. Now this is sequence of characters given in single apostrophe, single quote. I ask you what is Y. You should say Y is a variable. I ask you what is data type of Y. You should say data type of Y is STR, string. Now the same thing, same thing could have been written like this. Y is equal to double quotation and the string. Both mean same. That is, whenever you want to enclose characters, many characters, you can enclose in single quote or you can enclose in double quote. Or you can write the same line like this. Y is equal to single quote, single quote, single quote. See, I have given 3 single quotes back to back. 3 single quotes. Then I will give the string single quote, single quote, single quote. Now, this is same as this and this is same as this. It is your wish as a programmer how you want to store the string, but string will be stored in the same way. Internally, in the memory, string will be stored in the same way, whether you give single quote, double quote or triple quote. Here are the examples you see. S1 is the variable storing hello, single quote. S2 is a variable storing Python, double quote. S3 is a variable storing welcome to Python, triple quote. All 3 things are valid. This is first lesson. Just check again. I usually warn this whenever I am teaching fundamentals, many students feel we know this. Just check, you be with your teacher. You might have seen these topics on YouTube or somewhere, but that YouTube videos is common to all. Even arts or commerce or chartered accountant is seeing those videos. So they are made for a large audience. They are not made especially for engineers. Here in this class, I know I am talking to engineering students. Then I will speak long enough to cover those fundamentals of strings which are not available very easily on online sources. Okay. So, okay, people are still joining. Okay. So I will start idle and let's take a demonstration. Idle. Okay. Here is idle, Python idle. And I will not type a program. Instead, what I will do, I will type simple commands here itself. Okay. S is equal to single quote, hello. You can give capital or small letters inside the code. After all, characters can be capital or small. Now, S is a string. We can print the entire string by saying print S. Look, it will print the string. One thing you notice that when you print the string, that borders, quotes are not printed. Quotes are only meant for programmer. Otherwise, how will programmer tell Python that this is a string? So whenever programmer writes quotations, then Python understands it's a string. But while printing, quotes are not printed. It's a pure string. Hello was the content of the string. Just notice, if I put print type S, data type of S, recall, it will print class str. That means data type of S is string str. Okay. Let's try something else. W is equal to double quote hello, same string I am giving. But I have enclosed this in double quote. So W is a str. If I print W, it will print the same string hello without quote. And if I print data type of W, it will print, you see it's printing str. Let's try one more. T is equal to quote, quote, quote. See, I have given three quotes, single quotes. And then I give the same string hello, quote, quote, quote. So T is a string. We can print T by writing print the entire string T. You see hello gets printed without any quotations. And if I now try to print type T, data type of T, it will print str. This proves that whether you enclose a string in single or double or triple, it's str. Okay. Now, is this a string? Just check this line. A is equal to single quote 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this a string? For someone, you will say, no, this is not a string because it contains digits like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's not a string, but it is a string. Remember, anything enclosed inside the quote, whether you enclose alphabets or digits or any characters, it will be a string. So A is not a number, it's not an integer, it's a string. If you print type A, just check, it will print str. If you write Q is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 without quote if you write, then Q is int. It is integer value. It is not a string now because you are not given quote. Okay. Is this a string? Just say Q is equal to A dash 502 comma Sannidhi Park Mulund comma Mumbai 400081 quote close. Yes, this is a string. What I want to say is, inside that quote, when you are making a string, that string can contain any characters, comma, dash, slash, any character. It can contain inside the quote. This is my address, I mean. So address is a string after all. I hope you understand. So it will be a large string. If you print Q, it's going to print the entire string. Okay. So let me check the chat. Okay, yes. Yes was the answer. It's a string, right? So remember, anything enclosed in the quote is a string. It can contain digits or anything. Okay. Now, next thing I would like to tell you from engineering point of view is, just check. Very special thing I am telling. Okay. Just imagine I write x is equal to single quote, Samir. You know x is str. X is a variable of type str. Now, how does this x, it's a variable, you know, it's a variable. How is this x stored inside the memory? How is x stored? X will be stored in the memory because it has to store that string. How is it stored in the memory? Now, these questions, you know, are not important for any other non-engineering student. Please try to understand. These things are important to us because others are going to be only users. We want to become programmers. Okay. So what is X? You see, in the memory of the computer, X will be stored like this. X is a small variable, very small variable in the memory. So it takes very, very small space in the memory. You might be surprised. You might have thought that X is a variable inside which Samir is stored, inside which that string is stored. Anybody will feel like that. No, 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 no. X is a very small variable in the memory, and this variable is called reference. Repeat with me. This x is a variable after all. It's a variable, but that variable is called reference. X is a variable. It is called reference. Reference. Okay. Now, what this reference does? This reference points to an object. This points to an object in the memory, and that object is storing Samir. This object is object of str class. Don't worry if you are very new to these words, object, class, and all that. Don't worry. Okay. You can think of an object as a box in the memory. Very childish definition I am giving. Object is something in the memory which stores the data. And that object is object of str class. If I ask you, my dear students, are you object? You should say yes. I am also object. Okay. All the boys and girls in this class are objects. My mother is object. My father is object. All of us are object of human class. Human class. Okay. So if I am an object of human class, if I am, I am object of human class, then I will have all the properties that human has because I belong to that class. So, can I fly? Can I fly? No, I cannot fly because human cannot fly. I hope you are understanding. Human cannot fly. That's why, as human cannot fly, I cannot fly. It's so easy, I mean. Anything which you see in the real world, you know, is object of some class. Similarly, in the memory, this box that I have drawn is object of str class. And this object stores the string Samir. X doesn't store the string Samir. X refers to that memory location. X points to that object. We can say X knows where is Samir stored. X knows where is Samir stored in the memory. It only points to that string. We call X as a reference. Very interesting, isn't it? So next time, you know, if somebody asks you, X is equal to Samir, is X storing Samir? You say no. X doesn't store Samir. There is an object which stores Samir, and that object is object of str class. and X is simply referring to that string. Okay. Now, when you say print X, what happens? I hope you are enjoying this. Print X, what happens? Entire string gets printed. See, when I say print X, what Python does, it doesn't print X itself. It checks where is X pointing. Oh, it's pointing to this string. And you're asking me to print X. So I will print the entire string, Samir. That's how it runs. That's how it works. That means whenever you refer X, whenever you use X, whenever you write X now, then it will take the contents of the memory to which it is pointing. It will take that content, Samir, when you refer X. Okay? Big point I have told you. Okay. I will be happy if you write this point that X is equal to, let's say, Samir. Single quote, single quote. Here, X is reference that refers to object of str type. That object is object of str type. This object stores Samir. Okay. I'll take a pause here. Just help yourselves here. Just a minute. I forgot to switch on the light. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Let there be some light. Okay. I know it's festival time. Students are still joining. I cancelled the class, or rather we cancelled the class on Wednesday because it was first day of auspicious day of Ganesha festival. But I expected a larger number today. There are only 90 who have joined till. Usually there are 178, 180 students. Okay, so half of the students today. And one has dropped 90, now it is 89. Okay. But anyway, huh? So let's go to the next one. See, there are some important features of string. Okay, strings are immutable. Once created, cannot be modified. String support indexing. Okay, Freshers Day. Okay, for newcomers, first year students. Huh? Somebody wrote in chat. Okay, so fine. Freshers also have to be welcomed. Huh? So string support indexing. This point I will tell you now. String supports indexing. Let's see. Suppose I have written X is equal to single quote Samir. You know, you can give double quote or triple quote also. Then internally in the memory, X points to object. This object stores Samir. This object is object of which class, which data type? str. Object is str object. Okay. Now, each character over here, you know, has got index or position number like this. Internally, Python gives position number to each character. And the first character of the string is given index 0. So indexing starts with 0. You can call that index as location also. So if you are asked, where is R? R is at location 5, like that. Or where is E? E is at location 3 and location 4, like that. So every character has index. Now, interesting thing is, in Python, there is negative indexing also. This last character, you know, has -1 index. Then second last character has -2 index. Then third last has -3, -4, -5, and this will be -6. Negative indexing is also there. So I ask you, what is index or location of R? Your answer should be, first answer is 5. Yes, R is situated at 5th location. If you want to give one more answer, you can give -1. -1 is also index of R. R is the last letter. Last letter of the string always has index -1. Then it comes -1, -2, -3, -4, like that backwards. I never use negative indexing. It's a feature given by Python. It depends on programmer. I mean, who will use negative index? I mean, if you have positive index 0, 1, 2, 3 so nicely, at least I have not used negative indexing much, but there exists negative index. Okay. So indexing is there, huh? Now just imagine I go to Python idle. I'll start a new idle. Okay. Just imagine this line. S is equal to Samir. Now you know what happens when I print S. Entire string gets printed. But what will happen? Check the notation. What will happen if I write print S square bracket, a square bracket, 0, square bracket, close bracket. See the bracket of print. What am I printing? I am not printing entire string. I am printing S square bracket 0. That means I am requesting Python that in the string, whatever is at 0 index, print only that. So the output of this will be S. Okay, what if I print S square bracket 3, square bracket close? It will print that letter which is at third index. Okay, it is E. You watch. This is 0, next letter at 1, then 2, then 3. Yeah, character at third place is E. Okay, let's try. Print S square bracket 7. What will it print? Character which is present at 7th place, 7th index. Oh, good Lord, it gives error. You note the last line of the error, okay? Index error. String index out of range. You have understood, I am sure. String index out of range. You are asking Python to print that letter of S, which is at 7th place. But you note, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last letter R is at 5th place. How can you ask Python to print 7th letter? 7th letter is not there. So it is giving string index out of range. But importantly, indexing is there. Okay, try this. Print S square bracket -1. -1 means last letter. This is negative indexing. See, R is printed. R is the last letter. Or what will happen if I say print S -2? It will print second last letter of Samir. Second last letter is E. Like that, negative indexing is also there. Okay? Yeah. Now, so this point I have discussed supports indexing. Positive and negative, both are there. Okay. Now, this point I will discuss. Strings are immutable, very tricky point. Once created, cannot be modified. Very tricky point. Okay. Let's see. Strings are immutable. Immutable is an English dictionary word. Immutable means if you have stored something once, something is stored, then you cannot change it. Contents of that particular thing you cannot change. It is called immutable. Let's say I have said X is equal to double quote Samir. You know this is a string. And you know X doesn't store Samir. X is a reference which points to object, and that object stores Samir. This object is object of string class. And we have indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And negative indexing are also there, which I am not showing. Okay. Now somebody says that change this letter from S to A, so that Samir becomes Amir, like that. One letter I want to change. Now, anybody would think that anyway, X is a string, and we know that we can use indexing like this X0. What is X0? X0 is this S, this letter, na, X0. And I say equal to, so I'm saying X0, you become equal to, in quote, double quote, triple quote, anything will do. I am using single quote, A. I repeat, this you can give in double quote also, no problem. This will give error. What it says, you cannot change any letter of that string. You cannot change anything in that string. Once X is Samir, it is storing that object is storing Samir, it will keep storing Samir. You cannot change it. That is why strings are called immutable. Once created, cannot be modified. I will prove this. Okay. Let's go to Python idle. See, let us try to print S again. What is S? Oh, good. S is still Samir. Check this. I had given S is equal to Samir. Yeah. It is storing that string. Now I will try S0. Please become A, like this. Okay. What I want is this S should change as A and remaining letters should remain the same. Let's see what happens. It will give error. Just check the error. Last line, type error. str object does not support item assignment. Item assignment means you can't equate. You can't write some letter, single letter equal to something. You can't modify anything in the string. This is a very tricky point. Huh? I have still not finished with what do you mean by immutable. But till now we have understood that if we store something in the quote, then it is stored. We cannot change single letter or 2 or 3 letters of that string. Okay. Let's say I want to change the last letter from R to T. You know, this is 5th letter. Okay. I will try to give S phi, look at the bottom of the screen, equal to T. I want Samit as the name. It will give the same error, type error. str object does not support item assignment. Okay. So that's why they are called as immutable. Now I have a question for the entire class. Answer is in yes or no. Okay. Here is the question. See this code. I have written S is equal to Samir. You know I can't change anything in this. I am printing S. Okay. This will print the entire string, Samir. Now I am saying S is equal to Rajesh. And then print S. My question is, this line S is equal to Rajesh. See, S is already storing Samir. And I am changing S equal to Rajesh. Will this give error? Your answer should be yes if it gives error. No if it does not give error. I hope you understood the question. As usual, answers are flooding. No is the answer. No, no, no. No, no. No is the answer. So you mean there won't be any error? Okay. Yes, one yes I got. Or rather it might be answer to my question. There won't be any error. I am glad to see your skills. You know, no is the answer. No error. This line is absolutely right. Great. But then you see, The question is, just now we said strings are immutable. Once stored, it cannot be changed. We said that. Then how can you change S from Samir to Rajesh? The point is like this. This line is like this. S refers to object and that object stores Samir. Agreed? Okay. And then print S will print entire string Samir. Now I am saying S is equal to Rajesh. What happens whenever, listen very carefully, although you have answered the question. What happens whenever to a variable, to any variable, you assign quoted string. Then what Python does, it will create a new object, store that string in the new object. It's a string, isn't it? It's a string. It's a new string. So it creates a new object, stores the string in that object, and this S on the left-hand side, you see, will refer to that object. So what S does, S says, I will not refer to this object, but now I am asked to refer to the new object. S now refers to Rajesh. S now does not refer to the string Samir. Are you understanding immutable, meaning of immutable? You tell me. Just think of this. Has this object changed? Have you changed anything in this object? Can you change anything in this object? Nothing has changed. Contents of the object cannot change. You can create a new object and assign new value to S. Now again, see, this is storing Rajesh. This is storing Rajesh. If I say S1 equal to I want to change this letter to I. It is not possible. It will give error. Check again. If I say S is equal to Ramesh, then again a new object is created. It stores Ramesh. And this S now, because we have said S, you point there. So this S points to the new object. I hope you are understanding. Can you change contents of the object? You can't change contents. Can you create a new object? Yes. And assign it to the same variable? Yes. Then that same reference discontinues to point to existing object, but it points to new object. This is what is immutable. I have seen number of students, in competitive exam, when this question is asked, is this possible? S is Samir and S is Rajesh. They say, no, it is not possible, because they have the idea that string cannot change. But string can be assigned a new value. I hope everybody has followed. Okay, Satvik, all have done excellent. Okay, so that is immutable. This word is not going to leave us till the end of the course. Immutable and mutable. We have to be very crystal clear about this. Okay. So, I hope you understood why strings are immutable, and strings support indexing, both positive and negative. Okay. Now, there is one more property of strings called slicing. You can slice a string. I will tell you this towards the end of the class. Okay, towards the end. Wait, I'll tell. Very interesting. And if you know range function, range, which we have used in for loop, then I'll say you already know slicing. Okay. Let's see. One very interesting thing. So these are added in the notes. What is indexing? What do you mean by immutable? These things are added. Okay. Slicing is also added, which I will discuss later. Okay. Let's see some of the common string operations. Very interestingly, you can add two strings. For example, suppose I have x is equal to ABC and Y is equal to DEF. And if I say Z is equal to X plus Y, you can put this plus operator. Then both X and Y will get concatenated. Concatenated. This plus is not addition. This is concatenate. Concatenate means join. See, X is ABC plus Y is DEF. Then Z will be one string ABCDEF like that. You understand internal representation? What will happen? Internal representation, X is referring to object which stores ABC. Y is also referring to object which stores DEF. Now Z is also a new reference. It refers to a new object which stores ABCDEF. Importantly, Z refers to a new object. New string is created. And what is that string storing? Concatenation of two strings. Okay, let's see this. I'll close this idle and open a new one. Just to keep ourselves fresh on the screen. Suppose I have A is equal to ABC and B is equal to DEF. And then I say C is equal to A plus B, like this. Then print C. Now you see, print C is going to print ABCDEF. Exactly, they are concatenated back to back. Okay, let's try one more. Suppose I have A is equal to ABC. It was already there, AB. Now A is pointing to AB, not ABC. B is equal to, let's say, CD. Okay. And I give space here, CD space. See, there is a space before C in the string. Now if I say C is equal to A plus B, what will be C? AB, then space CD. Whatever is there in the string, they are joined back to back. So if I print C, just observe AB space C. Okay. One very interesting thing I am telling you about concatenation. Just observe, suppose if I have X is equal to volume equal to. So you agree it's a string. Volume equal to, written in double quote, it's a string. I have Y equal to 23.96. So what is Y? Is it a string? No, it's a float. Okay, now I will try Z is equal to X plus Y. Now you watch. X is a string. What is its contents? Volume equal to. X is a string. Plus I have written Y, but Y is a float. Okay, it's not a string. Then when you try this operation, you will get error. See the last line, type error. Can only, check that word, can only concatenate str, not float to str. So you can concatenate a string with another string. I repeat, you can concatenate a string with another string. You cannot concatenate string with an integer, string with a float. Are you following? Then, but how will you do this? There is a hack to this. You know that X is a string and Y is a float. You want to join both of them and make a single string. So what you do is you say Z is equal to X plus Y. You know this is wrong because Y is a float and X is a string. Then you write str of Y. You convert that float into a string. So in simple words, that 23.96 will be enclosed in the quote. stry, string of Y. We'll make it a string and then concatenate. Now this time it won't give an error. So if I print Z, it will print volume is equal to 23.96. So remember, whenever you want to concatenate string, yes, absolutely right, psi. You can give it as a string, but if it is a float, you will have to convert it. Correct. So remember, whenever you have a string and a non-string, like int or float, and you want to concatenate them, then convert that non-string into a string by writing str. Followed, everyone? Okay. So that's the point. This is the very important operation. You note this. This is a very important operation. Hello plus world will make hello world. Okay. Next is repetition. Just check. You can even use multiply with a string. Okay. Suppose you write hi, check hi is written in quote, into 3. Then it will create a new string, which will contain hi, 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 3 times. What is the demonstration of this? Suppose you have x is equal to hi. Then internally in the memory, x stores object which stores hi. Suppose I write y is equal to x into 3 like this. Now x is hi and into 3 means we are repeating hi 3 times. We are repeating hi 3 times. Hence, y will be a new string which will store hi, hi, hi. It will be completely a new string. X will not be disturbed. You can't change x. You can't change contents of that string. New string is made. Many times what happens, in programming, that you want to draw a line of, let's say, some dashes like this. Line of some dashes. So one way is you just type those dashes that many number of times. It is so boring, isn't it? But this will print that line of dashes. No problem. Other way, you can write print single dash multiplied by 50. So this quote into 50 means quote will be repeated 50 times. So print will print 50 dashes. You can see. This is a very easy, efficient way, isn't it, to repeat something number of times. So which operators are allowed on strings? Plus is allowed on string. Multiplication is allowed on string. Division and percent is not allowed on string. It will be very funny. You can't divide 2 strings, or you can't find remainder, or you cannot raise one string to the other string. Raise to operator is also not there. Okay. Any questions till this point? I'm just okay. Now there is one very interesting operator. See, we know plus operator can be used on string. Multiply operator can be used on string. See this in operator. Yeah, in is an operator. It can be used on strings. Many times, you have a string and you want to know, is some character present in that string? At which position we are not interested, just present or not. For example, if I have x is equal to Samir, and if I say print E, again double quote, single quote, anything will do for that E, in X, suppose I write. Look what I am printing. I am printing, bracket you watch, I am printing E in X. Actually, this is a question I am asking. I am asking, is E present in X? Like that I am asking. And if it is present, in fact, it is present 2 times, then the answer for this question will be true, Boolean true. And suppose if I ask, is X in Samir? Not letter X is not there in Samir. So the answer to this will be false. In operator, is very interesting. For example, suppose if I am having X is equal to Samir again, and if I say print Sam in X, it's not that I have to check, I can check only single letter. It's not that. I can check sequence of letters. Then Sam, SAM, see this sequence is present in X. So the answer will be true. But if I ask, is mass in X? No. This sequence of letters is not there. Not only the letters, but sequence also should match. Although mass is there in reverse order, reverse of Sam, but this will give false. So very interesting operator in is given. Yeah, we can add multiple times, Arjun. Concatenation of any number of strings is allowed. We can add multiple times. Concatenation, like I can say something like this. X is equal to my, okay, sorry, my age, or sorry, what am I doing? Actually, I have answered and he also has understood. I am plus str 54 plus years old. So I am concatenating I am with string of 54. So I am 54 years old, like that. We can concatenate any number of strings. Okay. Okay, services. Okay. So this in operator, is like a membership operator. Is that letter present in the string? Like that we are asking. So suppose I'll open a new Python idle. Okay. Suppose S is Samir. And if I say print Sam in X, this is, oh, I'm so sorry. In S, I use the wrong variable. Here S and here X I have written. Okay. So print Sam in S. It says true. So we can find out whether a sequence is there in the string or not. Okay. So these three operations I have labeled, they're operators. That's why. Okay. Only these three operators are possible on strings. Plus, multiply, and in. That's all. Okay. Let me check the chat. Yeah, multiple alphabet. That is what Sam. We checked multiple alphabets. Sam in X, like that we asked. But we cannot search, I mean, out of sequence. Okay, I understood your question. I'll immediately come to it. The question is, sir, can we check multiple alphabets at a time? Okay, good question. Let's see. Here we go. Other chat I will just address. Here we go. Suppose I again create S is equal to Samir, although it is there. I just want to know, is this string, just check, is this string containing a vowel? Vowel is A or E or I or O or U. Is this string containing a vowel? Any vowel. I don't want to know where is that vowel. I just want to know, is this string containing a vowel? Okay. So I will try this. I'll try giving A, E, I, O, U, quote close. See, after all, these are my vowels. correct? These are vowels. And I want to know, is this in S? This will not work. Please try to understand. What will this do? This will check whether this sequence is there. Exactly A, E, I, O, U. That sequence must be there in S. Are you understanding what I am saying? So multiple letters can be checked, but what will be checked when you see multiple letters? Sequence will be checked. If the characters are present in that sequence, only then it will say true. Otherwise, it will say false. Okay. What was the other question? Sir, what will happen? What will be the answer for x is equal to str123? Okay. The question is, see, it gives false first of all. A, E, I, O, U, not in S. No, it's not there in S. So it gives false. Huh? The question is, what will happen if I say x is equal to str123? This was the question. Now you tell me what is the meaning of this. X should store x equal to, na, we have written. X should store str of 123. What is 123? Integer. Look at that bracket. What is 123? Integer. We are converting it into a string and asking x to store it. So when we say this, x will store string 123. Okay, it has stored. Let's try to print type x. X is string. How was x made? From integer 123. We said x, you simply store string of 123. Okay. So what I was saying, only three operators are there. Yeah. We are not going into tuple. Okay, we are not going into tuple. Even that will not work. What you are asking, Xiaomi? Actually, you know, this tuple S, M, E, R, whatever, okay, can be used against one letter, single letter. We can ask, is A in that tuple, like that? Is R in that tuple? So that grammar we will see. But you can't ask like this. Huh? Is S, comma, M, comma, E, comma, R in X? No. Okay. The meaning will be highly different, and in operator has clearly this syntax. Okay. Okay. Now I will come to something very easy. Okay. String methods. Methods means, if you don't like this word methods, I don't know why, but if you don't like method word, you can call it as function. If you don't like this function, you can call it as operation. Anything is. Method, operation, function, all are same. Yeah, we will see, Pranay. How can we find vowel in the string? We will. In fact, later, you know, in our lecture, later, we have that program. Okay, I'll teach that program. Just let me, I had that plan actually. Just see. Yeah, you see, checking vowels. See this. Here also we are going to use in, but with single character. So there is something different over there. So we will see that, okay? But you see, number of things, other things are needed to see how do you know whether string contains vowel. We need for loop. Okay, fine. I hope I have answered your question, although I have not explained it because we are far from that. Okay. So I was saying string methods. Some people call this as function. Some people call this as operation. Okay. This upper is followed by bracket. This word upper is followed by bracket. What did I tell you long back? In Python, whenever a word is followed by a bracket, then it is a function. So if I ask you, what is print? Function. Input. Input is also followed by a bracket. Function. You can call this as method also, or function. Yes, my dear students. So I was saying that upper is a function. Like that, many functions are there, you see, given which strings. Now, the basic rule, basic rule is like this. Suppose you have a string like this, x is equal to Samir. Okay. And let's say you want uppercase Samir. All the characters should be in capital. Then you say y is equal to upper. That's the function. Bracket upper. But you call this upper on x like this. See this statement and become used to this. X dot upper is the function, which means we are doing upper operation, this upper operation for x, and x is small Samir, then y will become capital Samir. So what will happen is x is pointing to object which stores Samir, and after this y will point to a new string which will point to capital Samir. Remember, strings are immutable. That means you can't convert this into capital Samir. That will stay as small Samir only. But you have said y is equal to x dot upper. So x will undergo upper operation and y will then point to the new string which is uppercase Samir. Okay? Okay. Just see, suppose I have x is equal to Sam, y is equal to Ram. I have two strings. Fine. And I say z is equal to x dot upper. Then what Python will understand that you don't want uppercase of Ram, you want uppercase of Sam, because on which object are you performing that upper operation? You are performing upper operation on x. Yes, Sai, x can contain combination of upper and lower. I am coming to that point. Okay. So z will be a new string object. It will be completely a new string object. Whereas if you print y is still Ram, and if you print x is still Sam. Both are small. They have not changed. New string is created. Okay. Let's say that I have got w is equal to quote a dash 502 comma Sannidhi Park. You agree this is a string? It contains digits, dash, uppercase, lowercase alphabet, space also it contains. Okay, what will happen if I say q is equal to w dot upper? It is a very intelligent function. Upper will only play with alphabets. It will leave 5, 0, 2. It will keep as it is. What is uppercase of 5? Uppercase of 5 is 5. Uppercase of dash is dash. Uppercase of space is space. But it will only play with alphabets. And wherever possible, it will convert it into uppercase. So now q is uppercase of w. So if I print q, you will see all the alphabets are in uppercase. Correct? So any combination would do. You give any string, upper will convert it into uppercase. And whatever are non-alphabets like space, comma, dash, digits will stay as they are. They will not change. Okay. Yeah, we can print. Xiaomi. Yeah, okay. You see this? What is the question asked? Is that suppose W is this. W is this. A502 Sannidhi Park. And suppose I print W dot upper. We can directly print it. Please take care. What is given in the print bracket? W dot upper bracket. See this entire thing. W dot upper. Then whatever is W dot upper will be directly printed. Okay. We can directly give like this. What is the difference between the two? You just check. Here we go. This is a doubt asked by one of our friends. Suppose if I have x is equal to small sam and I say y is equal to x dot upper like this, then x is small sam. It is undergoing this upper operation. So y will be capital Sam. Okay. And what if I don't write this, but I write print x dot upper. So do you understand difference between the two? Here in the memory, new string is created. Y is a string which will permanently store capital Sam. Here, new string is not created. Only uppercase of Sam is found and it is printed. So many times, you need that uppercase to be stored in some variable so that you can use it later. Many times you don't need it. You just want to print the uppercase. You don't want to store it. Then this second grammar is best. Then why should you waste a variable? Don't waste a variable. Directly print uppercase. Anything is possible. Okay. This is also possible, you see. Suppose I say y is equal to sam dot upper. See this. If I ask you, what is this written before dot? What is this? You should say it is string. Correct? Upper is a function called for this string. So you may have x is equal to sam. Then you may write x dot upper. That means sam dot upper because x is sam. Or you can directly write the string sam dot upper. Then y will be a new string storing capital Sam. Importantly, to the left of dot, you should have a string. To the left of dot, you should have a string. After this discussion, I am sure you have understood lower. Converts all letters to lowercase wherever possible. Digits, dashes are ignored. What is title? Capitalizes each word. Let's take a demonstration of title, okay? I'll open a new idle window. All right. So suppose if I have S is equal to, in quote, Samir is great. Okay. Take it as a joke. Okay. Samir is great. If somebody's name is Samir, then he is great. Huh? This doesn't apply to me. S is equal to Samir is great. And suppose I say W is equal to S dot title. That means title operation is running for string S. Then each word will be capitalized. First letter will be capitalized. So if I print W, you see S of Samir, I of is, and G of great is capitalized. Okay, let's play with this. Suppose I have S is equal to Samir. I have switched on caps lock, switched off caps lock like that. Purposely. Then capital IS is, then great, like this. Okay. Now if I say W is equal to S dot title, I am converting, I am taking S and finding title case and storing it in W. So when I say print W, you see how neatly it gives. Wherever necessary, it puts uppercase. Wherever necessary, it puts lowercase. So any combination you can give. That's title. Okay. Capitalize. Capitalizes only first letter. You can try this. You can try this later by saying S is equal to, let's say I have Samir is great. And suppose I say W is equal to S dot capitalize. Then W will be a new string in the memory, which will store capital S, Samir, but all other letters are in small. All other letters except the first letter, because it is sentence case. Okay. And now coming to the last function, very interesting, strip. Okay, what happens many times, you have a string like this. S is equal to quote. Then I have given some spaces like this. Here I have given some spaces. Samir is, I have given some spaces here also. Great. And some spaces later. So just imagine there are 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3 spaces here. And there are some spaces in between also. There are 2 spaces between these two words and 6 spaces between these two words. Now if I say s dot strip and say w is equal to, then only the front spaces and tail spaces, whatever spaces are there in the beginning and whatever spaces are there in the end will be stripped off. Okay, so w will be a new string which will store Samir, then is, then grade. You see, intermediate spaces will stay as they are. But strip means strip of the initial and the tail spaces. This is very, very special, very important when we are dealing with data which has enormous strings in data science. These leading and trailing spaces create chaos, and a good programmer will always take care of this. Okay, so imagine that I have created S's. See how I am creating the string. Quote, 1, 2 spaces, then Samir, then 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Is, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces. Great. Then I will give more spaces here. Quote. Now if I print S, do you see this leading space? It is there. It is there in the string. These spaces are there. These spaces are there in the string. And actually, at the end also the space is there. But we can't see it because it is space, isn't it? Now, what if I write W is equal to S dot strip like this? Now, W is a new string. If I print W, you can just compare. You just see these leading spaces have been removed. And actually, the trailing spaces also have been removed. But the spaces in between won't be removed. That will be too much. Okay. Those spaces won't be removed. Only leading and lagging spaces. Obvious question you might have is, how do you remove those spaces then? We will have to write a program. There is no function given by Python. Ready-made function is not there. We will have to write our own program to remove these intermediate spaces. Okay. We may see that when we learn for loop. Second grammar of for loop. Okay. So strip function. Okay. More functions are there. More methods are there. This was only part 1. Part 2 is find, replace, count, starts with, ends with. More methods are there. Like, a split. Very interesting function. Then join. All these are string methods. Okay. But we are getting late. I want to tell you a very interesting function in string. I'll go to the demonstration. Let us say I have S is equal to Samir. And I want to find length of this word. How many letters are there in this? Now, number of letters in this are 6. Sameer. 6 letters. I want to find out the length of this word. Then I can write print. Somebody's mic is on. Just switch it off. Print len s. If I ask you what is len, you should say it's a function because it is followed by bracket. Len s. It is followed by bracket. So it's a function. Correct? And whose length are we finding? Length of s. Now you see output will be 6. 6 letters are there. You should be surprised to see this actually, and you should be confused. Why you should be confused? See, anybody would say, sir, you want to find length of the string. So you should call s dot len, because that is what we were doing all the time. When we want to convert s to upper, we wrote s dot upper. When we want to capitalize, we wrote s dot capitalized. But when we want to find length of the string, we should write s dot len. But you are now saying you should find the length as len s, not s dot len. This will print 6 as it was printing. Whereas if I write s dot len, it will give error, attribute error. str object has no attribute len. It is complaining that, my dear friend, string class does not have len. String class does not have len operation, like human class does not have fly operation. Imagine you know Samir and you order Samir dot fly. Samir dot fly. Will Samir fly? Impossible. It will give error. What I mean to say is, genuinely understand that len is not a function which belongs to string. Len is a built-in function. Check my words. Len is a built-in function. Here we go. I change the page. Just check this. Do you agree input is a function? You must say yes. It is followed by bracket. Is print a function? Yes, it's a function. It's followed by bracket. Do we call print with dot? Something dot print? Never. Do we call input with dot? Something dot? No. But still these two are functions. Such functions which are not called using dot operator and which are not called for someone, some object, they are not called for any object, are called built-in function. So just imagine this. I have said print len s, where s is the string. It will find out the length of the string, but what is len? Next time if you are asked in Python, what is len? You should say it is a built-in function which finds the length of the string. So it's not confusing. Huh? Many students then say, sir, then it is so confusing. Sometimes you have to use dot. Sometimes you should not use dot. Right? There are a very few built-in functions, my dear friends. There are very few built-in functions which you need to remember. Okay. And 3 out of them we have already discovered. Input, print, len of s. All right. Okay. Now, so how do you find length of the string? Len s. Oh, Pranay is asking, print x dot upper, explain with diagram, sir. Okay. Here we go. What is the question? Is that suppose x is Sam and print x dot upper, we have said. Then what Pranay is asking is explain this with memory diagram. What is happening? Okay. So first line x is a reference which points to a string object, and string object stores Sam. Everybody knows that. Now we are saying we are knocking x. We are saying x, I want your uppercase. But you know x can't change. These contents cannot change. It is immutable. So what Python does, it creates a new object. Yes, it creates a new object which stores Sam. Okay. Now, whenever an object is created, there is a reference which points to that object. In this case, there will be no reference. There will be no reference. An object will be created, string object, which will store uppercase of Sam. And then once this is done, uppercase of Sam, you see, x dot upper, this is x dot upper. Print will take this and print it. Print function will take that object, whatever is there in that object, it will print it. Okay. Second demonstration. Just check. I hope everybody understood what Pranay wanted to ask. See, suppose I have said y is equal to x dot upper. Like this. So x is Sam, and you know this small cannot change to capital because it is immutable. we are calling x dot upper. So what will happen? A new object is created which stores this sum. Correct? And y, observe the left hand side. Y will now refer to that object. I hope you understood difference between only printing x dot upper. Then we are not storing that string anywhere. We are just finding printing. That's all. It will not get stored permanently anywhere. It will be washed out. It will be removed after the operation. Okay. If you are printing x dot upper, but if you are saying y is equal to x dot upper, then y will now permanently point to that string. That's the difference as far as diagram is concerned. Okay. I hope I have answered your question, Pranay. Okay. Yes, Pranay. I hope I have answered. Okay. So, yes, sir, Pranay says. Okay. So, as I said, we are getting late. I wanted to, give you a taste of slicing today. See, these functions I will tell you on Monday: join, then split. Very interesting, very important in data science. Okay. I'll tell you on Monday. But I will tell you about slicing, string slicing. Slicing. Okay. Just imagine we have S is equal to programming. You know that S is internally stored with indexes. I will show indexes here itself. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So G is at 10th index. Actually, in the memory, there is an object which stores programming and all that. I have shown the indexes here. Now, you all know what happens when you print S0 like this. Only 0th position character, that is P. P will get printed. Correct? But what will happen if you say print S 0 colon, observe the square bracket again, 0 colon 3, suppose, square bracket close. Then all the letters from position 0 to position 2, not 3. Remember the range. 1 less than the stop value. So 0 to 2 will be printed. So the output will be PRO. Because PRO is at 0, 1, 2, like that. This kind of access is called slicing. Please try to understand, like we slice an apple. We cut it in pieces. Like that, we are slicing the string and taking out the part of the string. Okay? Importantly, slicing has its own grammar and its own rules. But you are very lucky, you know all the rules. You know range properly, how range works. Correct? So what I will do, I will use an empty blackboard where I will explain how slicing works. Suppose S is programming. Just 5 minutes more. We will stop after that. Whatever we can cover, we will cover. Otherwise, we'll continue on Monday. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I am giving indexing. 6, 7, 8, 9. G is at 10th place. Now imagine you write print S square bracket 0 colon 2. Check the grammar. Then all letters from 0 to 1 will be printed. If you give 0, 3, all letters from 0 to 2 will be printed. So pro will be the output. So what is the syntax? Syntax of slicing. See, S is the string, square bracket. First comes the start, then colon, not comma, colon. Then comes the stop, colon. Last comes the increment. Then square bracket close. This is the grammar, syntax of slicing. And you already know this. Whatever you give at stop, always 1 less than that is taken. Now, if this increment is not given, then by default, increment is 1. So do you observe this 0:3? Actually, 0:3 should have been written like this. 0:3:1. How do you read this? Give me all the characters from place 0 to place 2. Give me all the characters from place 0 to place 2 in the increments of 1. That means successive characters you give. Just imagine, I don't write this colon and 1. I write only 0:3. Then by default, the increment will be 1. So this is same as 0:3:1. Okay. So what will happen if I write print s 0:5:2, suppose? Then from 0 to 4, 0 to 4, 0 to 4 here. Check this word 0 to 4. Every alternate letter from 0 will be given. So what is the 0th character? P. This will be given. Then first character won't be given because increment is 2, observe. So next character is O, you see, second character, and fourth character is R, POR. Fifth character won't be given because it is out of range. 0 to 5 means only 0 to 4. Okay, this is slicing. 3 things can be given. Let me check. What if we want to print P and R? Sai, this S04, this notation is not allowed. This is allowed only for double dimension. But string is single dimension. 1 dimension it is. So this is out of question. If you want to print everything from 0 to 4, then you give print S square bracket 0:5 like this. This will print all characters from 0 to 4 with increment of 1. So double square bracket is not allowed. Okay. Now, basic question is, what does slicing give? You will say it gives output. No. Slicing doesn't give output. What does slicing give? Slicing gives a new string. Slicing always results in a new string. Okay. Size question is, what if I want to print only character 0 and only character 4? Like that. So you will have to print S0. You will have to print S0 and you will have to print S4. This. Okay. Suppose I want to print 0th letter, then second letter, then 8th letter, and then 10th letter. You see, there is no arithmetic progression between them. We can't apply increment. 0, 2, then 7, then 10. So we can't say increment of 2 because after 2 we want to print 7th letter. Then we'll have to go individually only. I'll come to that question, Xiaomi. Actually, we are getting late, It's already 8:30. Xiaomi is asking that what will happen if we give increment as negative. Many points I wanted to discuss, but this is the basic grammar of slicing, you see. I will tell you many examples of slicing in our next class, and just check this slicing in strings. Several examples. This was the question asked by one of our friends. What will happen if we give negative increment? Isn't it? And so on. Okay. So that's it for the day. Actually, we have, if increment is 0, okay. Let's address this question at least. What will happen if the increment is 0? Okay, actually, in that case, we are playing very naughty. Actually, first of all, why we should give 0, na? But then still, it is a question, right? So suppose S is Samir, and if I say print S square bracket 0:4. So I want to go from 0 to 3, :0 I have given. colon 0. Huh? That means go from 0 to 4 with increment of 0. Note, step size cannot be 0, it says. So one boy has already answered, it will give error. Increment has to be non-zero. It can be positive or negative. Same in the case of range also. Increment can't be 0. So that is the one question. Sir, can you share Telegram channel link? Yeah, I will arrange for that, Arun. I just arranged for that. So that's all for the day. I am waiting for admin staff just to flash the attendance. Anybody there from admin?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And notes also, I have shared it with the admin. And previous notes were already, previously one note was already shared on Telegram group. So today I have shared these notes. So by tomorrow or by today night, those notes also will be shared. Okay, Akshay? Okay, all yours. Thank you. Thank you all my friends.